Dunn comes up, but it's too late. And he's got up only to fall again. He's so stunned by it all. And it's about 2 minutes and 13 seconds. That's all it lasted.
Yes, what's up? Should be right here. I thought I'd do another live because I've done like a Joe Bugner obituary. I spent so much time on it, and there was a glitch because I do everything from the iPhone. You feel me? I do everything from the iPhone, but there was a glitch, and I couldn't. I lost 20 seconds of prime commentary, so I thought I'm still gonna do the obituary. I think, right? So my man, yes, Railway, hey, it should be so nice seeing you on the live stream 24 hours after the last one. Yes, brother. And we're going Dillian White style with the black gloves. What you know about that, homeboy? The Corey Power starts now. What's up, man? I hope everyone's all right, man. Yes, yes. Prince D, my boy, Prince D. Yes, yes. Great to see you. We've had chats on the Insta. Remember, I talk to my fans. I try and answer every single comment, every single message that comes on the channel. And you know, who else does that? Who else does that? Who else does that? And we were talking about Joe Bugner. Did he even have a nickname? Was it just Big Joe Bugner or Aussie Joe later? But did he actually have a nickname? I can't remember, bro. Well, I was a big Joe Bugner fan. He's been done hard. The British press, the British media, the establishment, the wrong uns treat them badly. They treat them badly. But we're here now. And we are Joe Bugner fans in the house. So what's going on, man? 4 people. 4 people. 4 people. Yeah, so like I said, I did this great. I do everything on the iPhone. Only the iPhone. And I've done some great 40-minute Joe Bugner obituary, and it was rubbed. Oh, Gerard, my man from Aussie. Yep, Aussie Joe Bugner. No wonder Joe Bugner went to Australia, you know, because he was treated so badly by the British system, you know. It's so good that, you know, so acceptable that he escaped the UK, went to Australia. He set up a winery, but it didn't work, and he came back. People don't realize how talented Joe Bugner was. You know, he was an actor. He's in 23 series and movies, including Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue, and Raul Julia's last film. What you know about that? Also, he's school's discus record holder, and when he went to Australia, age 40, he tried to. He played discus again. He threw the discus, and he tried to qualify the Commonwealth Games. He only came 12th in Australia, but for a 40-year-old who hadn't thrown a discus for like 26 years, that's not bad, man. So, what you know about that, man? Disco Dave, talk about railways. I used to enjoy smoking bud in the spunky-looking Severn Valley rails when working in Kidderminster. Big up Thomas Attack Engine and Grumpy George. Yeah. I don't really, you know, I look back on the stuff that I used to watch when I was a kid, and I now realize that they were very creepy, especially the BBC ones. You know, I don't know what I liked now. See, obviously I like Rolf Harris's pictures, but now I know he's a nonce. I never liked Jimmy Savile. How could anyone like Jimmy Savile? How could anyone watch TV and look at Jimmy Savile and think, that guy's completely normal? F that. Yeah, yeah. Talking about Joe Bugner, very unrecognized fighter, very underrated. Very underrated. You know, if you're talking about the top 10 UK heavyweight boxers, you got Lennox, obviously. You got Tyson Fury. I guess you got Gay J, Bruno. Well, Bruno's whack, to be honest. But who else? Irby Ide, Henry Cooper. And you got to have Joe Bugner right at the top. Prince D, my boy. I was cracking up about the convo he had with the farm. Well, they knew I was right because they all left. I said, are you cool with that, Molly? He goes, yeah, we help people. I go, do you really help people? No, you got clients. You're a private business. You're about profit, aren't you? No, we're about helping people. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. And they went away, a bunch of pussy holes with their tail between their legs. Because that's what the Chilby does to people. And that's what reality does. When you speak reality, you know, people get upset. It's called cognitive dissonance. Normies have cognitive dissonance. They hear something and it goes against what they believe, and they can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth, so they walk off. What a bunch of pussy holes. Disco Dave, I was actually at the Severn Valley Railway not long ago. Yeah, actually, I was wondering, actually, about railway unboxing. What's behind your name, bro? Just totally out of interest, bro. Some decent MILFs around by Severn Valley rails near the crappy footy ground, broke ass and annoying. Let me tell you this, right? Yeah, I went to Wetherspoons, another Wetherspoons, to meet my pal. Yeah. Out of town. Croydon area, let's just say that. And there was a bunch of 5 or 6 Dutch, girls, in inverted commas, watching the female rugby. And, you know, a couple of them were real pretty. Well, a bit big, but real pretty. And there was this one who insisted on using the men's toilets. Yeah? She insisted on using the men's toilet. And she sat there with her legs wide apart and walked like a man. And she would just, and she saw me clock her going, what the fuck? What the fuck wrong with you, you mad, crazy bitch? Yeah? And she was just waiting to say something. And I just looked away and I just thought, she would sit there. She'd actually, no joke, she had her legs wide, splayed open like a man. You know, because we got balls and a cock and balls, right? So we got to open our legs. And she was itching her crotch, like as if she had balls. It was pathetic, man. Stupid, ugly, fat, deluded hoe. Did you hear about our protest down here? No, bro. What happened, man? How did they go? What was the protest about? No, I haven't really looked at the news because I don't trust it. Railway. My name came from my grandparents. We're massive railway fans. My family, especially my mum, got me into boxing. Oh, that's cute, man. It's nice to have a good story behind that, man. When you say railway fans, do you mean like actual railroads and stuff? You know? Do you know, I think I love trains, to be honest with you. Not enough to be like a train spotter. I don't know if they still exist. I've seen some before in the past, but like sitting on a train watching, you know, the scenery change and going to different cities is actually really satisfying. Even as a young kid, I used to like the train, man. I like the train. You get one. You see, you go through like Britain, you see the British countryside. I want to do that thing, the Orient Express or whatever that goes across Russia. That would be awesome, man. I'm a fan on steam railways and boxing. That's really interesting, man. I think it's really interesting to have unusual hobbies. I don't know if I've got any unusual hobbies. Basically, for me, it's just boxing. I love boxing art. I got into some artworks to do with boxing. You know, I like dogs, but you know that's not that different. Obviously, I lost Tyson, my bulldog, must be about 2 months ago now. I miss him so much, you know. I miss him so much. I can't, you know, make me cry, you know. I used to love Pum Pum and Yale, but now, you know, they're secondary. Yeah. Ah, my boy, the big man's here. The live starts now. What do you guys think of I wasn't sure, you know, to put up a video of me hitting the pads because, like, you know, I'd only been in the gym for a month, right? And I'd been out, and during that whole month, I'd been getting my drink on. And that week before, and the night before, I'd been on it all night, 4 hours sleep. And I still got in the gym, and I cracked them pads. And, you know, but I got mostly good reception. Some people give me tips. Oh, you shouldn't drop your hands after throwing a shot. I was like, yeah, I know that, but I'm gassed, bro. You know, they always say when you're tired, if you're not fit, you lose your form, and some people say you become a coward. I don't agree with that. I'll take a beating. I will take a beating even when I'm out of shape, but I do lose my form. So yeah, Big Mike in the house. Of course, Big Mike's in the house. Great to see you, my brother. This guy Dave. My hobbies nowadays are sleeping and avoiding you. I don't blame you, bro. Humans are grotesque creatures, unfortunately. By the way, 20% of them are super, right? Red-pilled, normal, decent people, have empathy, but so many of them are wrong-uns, man. Like that huge diesel dyke I seen in the Croydon Wetherspoons. Like, I was just, you're so ridiculous. I went to drain the lizard, right? And then this huge dyke comes out, walking like a man, like that, swaggering like a man, with huge boots, wearing a rugby top, watching female rugby. And I was like, what the fuck? And you know what? She waiting for someone to say something because she wants to go, oh, I'm a man. I can do what I want. I was just like, blood clot. Like, ignore that. And then the hole happened to be sitting near me. You get me? And I was like, and she's sitting there with her legs wide apart, scratching her balls that don't exist. What the fuck is that about? Anyway, let's talk some boxing. Look, come on, biatch. See, sometimes, oh, here we go. Joseph Parker of his Fabio Wally confirmed for October. Some undercard fights been confirmed on Boxrec. Let me have a look. So last night I was told it was confirmed, so I put a tenner on Wardley at 5.5, which I think is a decent price. I mean, don't get me wrong, Parker's a quality guy. He has been stopped and he has been dropped by guys like, did he get dropped by White and Chisora? And he been KO'd by Slow Joe Joyce. Okay. So I think Wardley is fresh. He's violent. He definitely has the potential to knock out, Joseph Parker. We'll see what happens, but I thought 5.5 was too long a price. That's a good fight, I really wanted to see Moses Itauma vs Fabio Wardley, because that's, that to me would be the most exciting fight out there. Let's have a look, see what Boxrec says. Come on, biatch. Come on, biatch. They're probably slowing me down. Joseph Parker's real name is, and that David Diamante, he loves to act all superior, and he always says the real name is Lupe Soliai La Aliao Ole Maliotoa, also known as Joseph Parker. The fight starts now. I like Parker, but there's definitely some skeletons in that closet, right? You're right, Fabio Wardley, 25th of October. Let's see what's on the undercard. I get an error. Blood clot. They're just trying to mess with me. Right. Mate, the training video is good. Be nice to see your progress and see get cobwebs off, get back where you were in the training. Yeah, I mean, the point is, can I be bothered? Can you be bothered? Even when I was, when I boxed, I couldn't be bothered. So why would I, would I be bothered now? I don't know, man. The guy got chat. I think Parker could knock out Wardley. Well, of course he could knock him out. Okay, so Joseph Parker, Fabio Wardley, main event. Denzel Bentley, Endry Saavedra. I've never heard of this guy. Don't care about that fight. That guy is from Venezuela, but he lives in Maycourt. That's funny. And all these guys move around. Lewis Edmondson, Ezra Taylor, not interested. Royston Barney Smith, Danny Quartermain, decent, but not that interested. Prince D says, Wardley is awkward for most fighters, to be fair. He's very violent. He can be hurt. He even got dropped by Adelaide's brother, didn't he? Bare knuckle, but, that's different. Itauma vs Dubam is good. That would be a great fight. I think Wardley has more dog than Parker. I think Wardley's very fresh. Parker's been fighting. Hasn't he been fighting, right? Joseph Parker has been fighting in world class for 15 years or something, isn't he? Like, he won the WBO championship. He beat the legend, Shades of Ali, Hughie Fury. So, yeah. So, what's his face? Parker's been fighting since 2012. But he's only 33. So, he went pro 21. He beat Franz Botha in his 6th fight. It's amazing the stuff you find out. Brian Minto wasn't a bad fighter. He beat him in his 8th or 9th fight. Carlos Takam was his first, in 2016, true world level fight, which he won on points. Yeah, I mean, he's beaten Andy Ruiz for the title. It was close. Like, Packer is not the biggest puncher in the world, although he looked very big against Spacoli and looks very dangerous. I think if I had to bet my life, I'd probably go for Parker's experience, but I'm definitely putting money on Wardley because those odds at 5.5 are too long. Parker blocked Triple B, which he's not. Yeah, he did. I did that video. It was just a fun video about Tyson. It was a takeoff of the American Psycho card scene. You know, I knew Corey because that is a really super Corey. And I didn't even put it on his Twitter. I didn't put it on his Twitter. I just copied him in, and he blocked me. Who do you have Canelo Crawford? Oh, bro, you obviously weren't on the live yesterday. That's okay. I said Canelo, points. It will definitely go on points, and there will be a rematch. It will be close enough to warrant a rematch. Close enough to warrant a rematch. Because everyone gets paid again. Who? The promoters, the fighters, the managers, the casinos, the restaurants, the hotels, the venue, the brasses. Ligma, nice picture. Ligma Knuts. Yeah, nuts. I thought Samoans would take a joke. I guess so. I think they do, but they're quite proud. They're very proud people, Samoans, so they might think it was disrespectful, but it was quite clearly a joke. Maybe it's too close to the truth, you know? Maybe it's too close to the truth. The video's out there if you want to check it. My bad, brother. It's not your fault, bro. You know, you might have better things to do. Maybe you're going out there chasing females. You know what I'm saying? These gloves are meant to be. I was going for the Dillian White look. You know how he always wears black gloves, but you're meant to be able to touch the screen, but it doesn't seem to work. So maybe I'm going to go the Michael Jackson route and just have one hand and one glove. Moses Thomas fighting in December in Manchester, England, but no date or opponent to be confirmed. Who do you think he fights next? Someone like Chisora, is my opinion. Someone popular like Chisora, and it'll be pay-per-view because Chisora will always sell because he talks well. Dillian White might be a possibility, but I think not Dillian White because he got ironed out by the time. I don't mean Dillian White, excuse me. Derek Chisora is the best possibility. I'd hope for Wardley, but if he's fighting Parker, he's fighting Parker. I think they'll go for a British name. Yeah, I think Chisora has to be the most likely name. The only issue might be Chisora's like, I want to fight for the world title. Yeah, Daniel Dubum has a secret announcement. Could it be a Talma vs. Dubum? Yeah, actually. And that would be a great fight. I expected Talma to win. I think Daniel doesn't have the minerals or the chin. He's an on-top fighter. A good on-top fighter, but he's still an on-top fighter. So, but yeah, Talma vs. Okay, they're both Warren fighters, right? Queensberry. But Warren's got so many heavyweights now that he can afford to throw them in. Maybe Itama Ergovic, right? The Geiger Chad. Itama Ergovic. What about that, man? Oh, Chisora's already turned down Itama. Okay, possibly. But maybe if they raise the money, he won't, yeah? Who wins Woodley vs. Parker, says Boy Memes. Oh, I like your avatar. I think Woodley's rightfully the underdog, but at the odds of 5.5, I'm putting money I'm putting a little bit of money on Wardley because Parker has been dropped and he's been stopped. So I think Wardley is a very, very game outsider. We should get Dubon vs. Gay J too, as they're both off. Yeah. Does anyone still care about Gay J? You know. Can you hear that music, right? Because so in the basement, I live in a block, right? And in the basement, I think these students have moved in, and all they do is smoke weed and play loud music, man. I'm not going to knock on their door or anything, but they're always playing loud music, innit? If Dubon clips it, tell me he might get dropped. Well, yeah. If my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. You feel me? Prince D says Caballero deserves a good name in his next night. No, he deserves the title, bro. He deserves the title, right? No one. I've won a lot of money on Caballero against Makhmudov. What else did he KO Caballero? Huh? He was the underdog in all these fights. Huh? Caballero is probably not, to me, the second best heavyweight in the world. Okay? So he beat Zhele Zhang, I won on that. He beat Frank Sanchez, I won on that. He beat Aslanbek Makhmudov, I won on that. And he was the underdog in all those fights. But he deserves, how old is he, 32? Let's have a look. He's 32. He deserves to have a world title fight. No one deserves it more. No one deserves it more. Yes, Cesaro is offered $2 million to fight Itama for Dillian fight, but like I said, if they have the money, $2 million won't be enough for Cesaro because he's greedy. He likes, well, it's okay to be greedy, because you're risking your life, and he's like 40, right? It'll be signed to fight Darren Till in October. I quite rate Till's boxing skills. How much does he weigh? What is he, like a super middleweight? I'll fight him at catch weight. And see if he can take the speed, the accuracy, the power. We'll see. But I got to get fit. My problem is fitness, not power, not speed, not accuracy. The problem is fitness. I'm not the only one. There used to be a guy called, was it Dave Pearce? A Welsh heavyweight. And he was really talented. But he just hated training. And so Mickey Duff or whoever, we say, right, look, run to the gym. And then you're warmed up, run to the gym. Instead of running to the gym, he'd pour water all over his head, all over his heat. He'd pour water on his heat. So it looked like he'd been sweating, but he hadn't. He'd walked to the gym or got a lift and poured water on his heat. Yeah, that's how it should will be. If Itama fights Dubon, I'll be happy to pay that fight on pay-per-view. It depends on the card. For 15 quid, I think that's okay. As long as your undercard is good, though. Do you lift weights? Yes, but not like a bodybuilder. I lift for speed and power. And you can see, right? Let me show you this, right? I'll tell you what, you can see what happens. What you do is you instead of getting a bit like a bodybuilder, build for muscle, you build for explosiveness. And this is what happens. See, that's after a month of training for explosiveness. You saw there for yourself the speed, you saw the power, you seen the accuracy for yourself. So that's what you got to do. Darren fights at 190, 200. Okay. I mean, again, he's a southpaw. I kind of rate him. The thing is, because his eyes are too close together, so you don't throw the straight shots because you'll see them coming. It's like Ben Whitaker. You got to throw the roundhouse. You won't see the roundhouse shots coming because his eyes are too close together. Yeah, it's the opposite. A chameleon's eyes are on the side of the head. So if you fight a chameleon, yeah, you don't use the hooks because they see it coming. You've got to use the straight shots. But with Darren Till, he's the opposite. His eyes are too close together, like two beady currents. So you got to throw round shots. Boxers do the water bucket trick to make it look like they work hard in their boxing videos. Oh, yeah. What? I mean, social media is a lie, innit? What happens with Dubam now? Well, Dubam's still a name. He's a heavyweight. You can say he's ex-heavyweight champion, although obviously he's not really, isn't he? You know, he got the title, he got stripped off Usyk, who just gave him a beating, and then Usyk gave him another beating. So, you know, it's silly, but he can say I was ex-world heavyweight champion. And he's still got a name, Dubam. He beat Gage. But, you know, how old is he? He's only young, right? He's 25 or 26, so he can. I don't know, man. I think he's been exposed, right? He's been exposed as far as he's going to go, which doesn't mean he's not a heavyweight contender and doesn't mean he can't get big fights because it's the heavyweight division, right? I'm not dead yet. Hello, Triple B and everyone. Yeah, what's up, brother? How you doing, bro? It's great to see you, man. I hope you're good. Maloney, Darren tells you only. I haven't even started to read, and I'm already laughing. Darren tells you only about. I'm sorry, I'm kind of juvenile. Is the only man who can look down a straw with both eyes. That's a super. Damn, how'd you come up with that, man? That's good. I like that. Carl Cobra Forge is itching for Tiller Price Right. Is he, though? Is he? Or is he just getting views for his channel? He's got a lot of money. Allegedly, he's got loads of property. He's really tight, right? It's well known he's really tight. And his wife, Rachel, the slut, you know, doesn't like his tightness because he collects coupons and stuff like that. Groupon and supermarket coupons. He's really tight. So he's got loads of money. Yeah. So is he? I think he's just talking about Till to get more views on his channel because his channel is fairly popular. I don't really watch it because he's boring. All he does, yeah, you might know, I beat John Scrolls in front of 80,000 people, and you know, blah 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 blah. I mean, he's still going on about that. It was funny the first time, maybe the second time, maybe the third, but not the 153rd time. We're bored of that. You're a mug, Frotch, and we know you're doing it because of Rachel. What's her name? Courtney, who also got smashed by Amir Khan, which is why Frotch doesn't like Amir Khan, because his wife got smashed by Amir, and you know, he's very bitter about that. But yeah, I mean, I think he's just wanting views. He's had surgery on his nose. He doesn't want his nose bust up. Ah, my boy. Hey, Kirsty Hardman is here. Yes. Shane told us you might be here tonight. The only question I got is what kind of sandwich, what flavor sandwich you're going to make for Shane Bongers tonight? And is it before or after? My boy takes care of business. And here we go. Shane with a very generous as usual. I mean, you know, Shane, as we know, as I said, we're sponsored by Shane Bongers or supported by Shane Bongers. And he said you would be there, Kirsty. So it's great to see you, man. So I want to know what kind of sandwich you're making. I want to know what fight are you looking forward to. And do you like boxing? Oh, Kirsty Hardman. You want sexy times? What? You're Eastern European? Kirsty Hardman don't sound like no Eastern European name. But that's the kind of thing you hear from Eastern European or Kazakh. I haven't had sexy time for a bit. I think I deserve some. But I'm looking for a wife. So if you know any, if you know any, you know, if you got any nice women's with blue eyes, I only accept white women's for wifeys. Only white women's with blue eyes can be a wifey for the Triple B. You know, then maybe they can come on the channel. They can come on the live, and maybe we'll do a live, right? And Kirst can get all her friends, and they can say. They can, like, you know, try and sell themselves. Hey, Triple B, I'm a big fan of yours. I think you should choose me for a date because I've got beautiful blue eyes, you know. And, you know, I'm not easy, but if you play your cards right, I might let you put your Corey in me. Thank you so much for the 199, Kirst. And thank you, of course, for Shane Bongers. If Darren's eyes came any closer together, he'd be Illuminati. Yeah. Prince Frost only pays for his battered onion rings. You remember that, right? Yeah, and wasn't it his own? No, was it his own restaurant or was it another restaurant? He goes, and this guy's like, let's share the bill, and it was only about 30 quid, and he's like, no, I only had bad onion rings, and he cost £7.99. Why should I pay more? You know, tight-fisted bastard. You know, I wouldn't say he's a piece of shit. He's a hard man. He's a hard man, you know, but he used to cry before, you know, going into sparring. And I, as I said again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, a man who can overcome such fear and still be a top fighter has to be respected. Froch hates minorities. What does minorities mean? The only minority in the world is white people. There's only 9% of the world are white people. In 100 years, Wembley Stadium has only had 15 boxing events. Yeah, one of them was Carl Froch. Froch ripped off a load of material off Porky. Yeah, but he's not the sharpest tool in the box, is he? So, bang, daddy, paddy. You look menacing on the pads. Pop, 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 pop. Bang! Bang, bang. Last night, there was bad intentions. I was really hungover, man. I'd been partying all night, you know, and I still got up and hit the pads with speed, with power, with accuracy, with violence. I don't think Sonny wants any of that. Prince D, Froch so tight, he looks under his pillow for lost sleep. That's fine. There's some good expressions coming out. He looks under his pillow for lost sleep. Yeah, yeah. But at least you're not like Andre Ward, who sent a glass eye to sleep. No. Shane makes his own sandwich. Oh, come on, Kirst. It's nice to make. You know, I've got a pal, yeah, and he was a bit of an oil driller. And he, well, you know, he liked mixed race, mulatto women. And he said, you know, because, you know, he goes, do you know what? I said, so what's that, Triple? He goes, Triple B, you know what? He goes, like, you get a mulatto or black woman. He goes, after you've run them up, they always make you food. Oh, come on, don't be gross, bro. I have green eyes. I'm not going for you, Kirst. You're Shane Bogus's ting. I mean, have you got friends? They are blue sometimes when my mood changes. Yeah, I've heard that before, that apparently eye color can change, man. But for me, I like blue eyes, man. I like blue eyes. I've got the Queen of Hearts, baby. Yeah, I believe you, man. Kirsty, do you make a good stew? That's very important. If you want to be a keeper, yeah, especially if you're interested in, like, you know, Huey Fury type people, you need to make a good stew, especially in the winter. No, she don't make food for men. She makes Shane get his own sandwich. Rightfully so. No, I think it's nice to make a man a sandwich. I'm sorry, please don't block me. I've just had, so of course I'm not going to block you, Kirst. You just give me $1.99, and you know, you're Shane Bogus's friend. Of course I wouldn't block you for nothing, man. I'll make you a sandwich, my pen. TMI. Too much info. Froch hates anything that ain't white, but his wife is down with the brown. Yeah, Amir Khan apparently smashed her, which is why he don't like her at all. Owen Foster, yo, what's up, bro? Triple B vs Carl Froch, 6 rounds in one night. I mean, Carl Froch, I seen he's kept in good shape. He doesn't really get into alcohol or drugs like Triple B does. He's a former world champion. Carl Froch is too good. If I could bust up his nose with one of them upcuts, bap! If he hit bap right on the end of his big nose, then maybe. But you know, I mean, I wouldn't fancy against Carl Froch. He's too good. It's mad how Usyk is one of the most well-known boxers was Ricky Hatton. Still can't pronounce his name. Yeah, Alexander Usyk. Yeah, but Ricky, you know, is a bum. With it. I mean, his IQ might have been I reckon his IQ used to be about 90, but now it's about 50. All the punches he's taken and the drugs. My boy David. Yes, Triple B. Yeah, what's up, David? How you going, brother? Bang daddy paddy, as the Sheikh says, 50-50, is either gay or Jewish. I mean, the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik is one of the... I was never that much into WWE. I was into... what was the other one? Because he used to show it on Channel 4. There was WWE, World Championship Wrestling, so I knew them better. But when I discovered the Iron Sheik, I discovered what a base person is. He's not my man. No. I'm not getting involved in no domestics, bro. Mulatto farm for women's. Mulatto for Mandam. Madres Maycan. Here since the Red Pill Boxing days. Yes, brother. Wow, man. Well done, my brother. Bless you, bless you. That's gross. Carl Froch and Tony Bellend are similar in a sense. They want to be in the spotlight. Yeah, they pretended they didn't want to be. Hey, Cougs, I want to be known as Anthony Bellew. I want to be known as Anthony Bellew. And I don't want to be, I don't want to be filmed no more. I just want to live my life. And then he's everywhere. He's a wrong one. Bless up, God bless. Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. Yes. And that's one thing you've got to learn on this channel and all channels. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings. And all the end times predictions are coming true. If you doubt me, look it up. The notorious Shane Bongos cartel. Yeah, Shane, man. Shane's a legend, man, on this channel. Froch won't like you because you're 10% non-white heritage. Well, I don't like Froch either, so you can stick his big nose, his big plastic nose, up Rachel's batty hole and smell Amir Khan's nut. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm a Christian. I don't really like to talk about sick stuff like that, so I apologize. Ricky never was the smartest, let's be honest. He barely lasted in Dancing on Ice. You mean you watched that shit? If he was on Strictly Come Dancing, I'd watch it because, it's a great show. In fact, isn't it on tonight, Strictly Come Dancing? Atten, looks like 6-year-old. Where's Michael Maloney, by the way? Michael, where are you? Hatton looks like a 6-year-old Libyan who smokes 30 a time. Oh, damn. Me fans are the funniest. Shredder. Tibort to Poland. I would just say, I don't want to say too much, but look at his heritage. Look at his heritage. What are your thoughts on Fondorovi's Keith Thurman? Fondoro's almost a foot taller than Thurman. Yeah, but he hangs his chin out and he can get clocked. Like I said, I told one yet again, people don't listen when they should listen. He was 7-1. I think, what's his name? Brian Castano? No, somebody else. Whatever, who chinned him. Like his chin's always in the air. But Keith Thurman is kind of shot, man. The end times, the hats lose. Yeah, all bad people lose, bro. Yeah, I recognize that. I've been coding my project today with AI help. So much more has enabled me to do this. Utterly amazing for a single event. Yeah, but it will take your job ultimately, bro. They won't need you soon. People don't realize the effect that AI is going to have on their industries. And that means everyone, lawyers, cab drivers, retail, everything. And you talk to anybody with a job and they go, oh, it won't affect my job. Are you serious? I talked to the cab driver and he goes, I said, what about self-driving cars? And he goes, oh, no, they'll never take over our jobs. I said, why not? Oh, because they don't know all the little passages and shortcuts that we do. I go, of course they're going to know that. You know, they're going to have Google Maps and everything else. And then I talked to someone who was in the special effects industry. Imagine that, in the special effects industry. And I said, are you worried about AI? He goes, no. I said, why not? Surely it's going to take over a job. Nah, it's just not good enough. I'm like, are you joking? Have you been on YouTube and seen videos that individuals have made? You know, people are full of shit, man. I have a tendency to write fast. You mean write, W-R-I-T-E, right? And YouTube corrects me for no reason. That's okay, but Shredder could walk off crotch to Poland. Froch knows and a lack of common decency gave his heritage away. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. I would look at his heritage, man. I would look at his heritage. It's good for the home developer now. Yeah, making notes up, no doubt. I use it as very low level, you know, like the Otto Wallin, the Otto Wallin video where he sits in the cuck chair and talks about watching the action. But we're still at basic times, man, and yet it's already that good. I mean, look at computers taking things over. You go to Wetherspoons, you order on an app. You do this, you do that, you do that, you do the other. robots, when they get cheaper, are going to run warehouse jobs. They're going to run waitressing jobs. They're going to run retail jobs. Yeah, that's right. Of course, we're going to be replaced. You got enticing me's gay with if it's in pantomime. What do you mean if it's in pantomime? Of course it's pantomime, man. Mike Tyson just came out recently and said, Jake Paul was saying, "Oh, I beat Mike Tyson," and he said, "No, you didn't. You paid me $10 million and told me I wasn't allowed to hit you." So it's not even worth thinking about. AI diagnosed a disease a human failed to pick up. That is amazing. AI will replace women eventually. What you mean, like dolls? I mean, possibly. I mean, they already have the technology to birth animals, using without using a womb. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. People are going to be stuck in the matrix and virtual reality. So everything they do and see will effectively just be brainwaves, right? And they'll feel everything they could do in real life, but they'll be attached to a virtual reality system, and that's the matrix. What do you think Tyson Fury's reaction was when he inspected Guido Vianello's quarry? Horror. I mean, jealousy, envy, horror. He probably couldn't sleep for like maybe 5 days going, I wish I had Guido Vianello's large quarry. He's got a body like a Greek god, a ton, good looking, and a large quarry. So yeah, I hate them self-service till supermarkets. The only problem with those is that people are starting to cheat them. So supermarkets getting upset. But that's also trying to get rid of retail. That's why they allow all these people to get away from with shoplifting without even, And there's even a guy, some idiot who's a multi-millionaire or billionaire going, oh, they should be allowed to shoplift. That's just working towards getting rid of retail and replacing it with everything is online. You order everything online. Tyson clearly took a dive against Paul. He nearly dropped with a jab by mistake and they threw nothing else. I didn't even watch it closely. Michael Maloney is in the house. What's up, Michael? Pop. You good, bro? K Bongos 11. Is that Shane Bongos' brother? It's all rigged though, isn't it? All about getting the most money. Well, it always has been. Always has, always will. Been about money and power. I mean, that's not unexpected. I watched a video of yours the other day when Rince and Emperor Michael for using fake accounts. He's a pussy hole. I think you've seen now the damage I do to him. He wouldn't even, Emperor Michael wouldn't even spar Sonny Edwards, even though he was fit, a 3 days notice. Sonny, I need 3 months to spar you. You remember when he came on? I need 3 months to spar you. And he was like 50 pounds more than Emperor than Sonny. Sonny's like, wait. And I said, well, you're fit, Michael. You've been given a great chance to restart your channel. And you're known for allegedly sparring these guys, apparently Kelly Pavlik and Kell Brook. Well, we've seen the Kell Brook, that's real. But, and you can't spar a flyweight, even though you weigh 150 pounds. I need 3 months, Sonny. I need 3 months. And when I pulled him up on it, you spar him, Triple B. And I said, well, I'm not the one bragging. I'll spar Sonny tomorrow, man. And you know what happened? Blap. If Canelo fights cruiserweight, one day, I can't see him in 200 pounds, probably be at the catch weight, 185, 190. Well, it's like, if you're a big enough name, they'll bend the rules. You remember when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Donnie Lalonde, who was a light heavyweight, a big light heavyweight, and he made him drop down to 168 pounds so he could win the super middleweight and the light heavyweight title. Lalonde did well. He's commented on one of my videos about Teddy Atlas. Check it out, by the way. Because Teddy Atlas is a liar and said he came to Lalonde's flat to kill him. And Lalonde said he didn't even know where I lived. So, Sugar Ray made Donnie Lalonde drop down to 168, to fight for the light heavyweight title. So, Michael Maloney says hello to Sven. Yeah, great to see everybody today. Bless up. Yeah, good to see you, Michael. Great to see me. Great to see me funds. Be good friends. Don't get this all absolutely everything online. Well, most of the time you can just walk in the shop, someone go to get it. No waiting for a week. No, because they'll start to deliver very quickly. You can even years ago, I've had things delivered in one day, right? If you know the right channels, right? They will just have warehouses everywhere, and you'll get it delivered in an hour. You can get it now. If you go to Iceland or something like that, right? And you order 2 hours, you get it delivered within 2 or 3 hours. Believe me, don't be naive about that, bro. They're going to get rid of humans. They're going to get rid of retail. Okay. I might need to join the lizard. I still remember watching their lives where the LITECOIN Emperor accidentally revealed his true identity because he got twiggered. Yeah, I mean, he had a chance to make a good channel, and Tyson Fury mentioned him, but he upset so many people that he ruined it, and that's his fault. And I gave him a chance. So I thought, yeah, he's actually all right. And then he just turned. He's a pussy-hole. I went in shop a few weeks ago where they couldn't accept cash, so I just left. Cash decided to come. Oh, we know that for years, man. There's plenty of places where they go, no cash accepted. I'm like, because they want to know exactly your movements. They want to know exactly what you've done. I mean, they know it anyway with your mobile. They know where you are. They know where you are now, right? Unless you got one of those old Nokia flip phones like Daniel Dubon. Michael looking great on pads. Oh, that's really kind. I mean, I thought I looked okay. I looked okay for a guy that has been, out of shape and only been training for a month and I hadn't had the pads for a year. But I'm quite critical. I was going, nah, you're dropping your hands a bit. Someone said, you sit there admiring your work, bap, after you throw the right hand, and that's kind of true. But, Emperor Agir, yeah, 100%. I'm going to drain the lizard. Sorry, guys. No, I will drain the lizard in an hour. Let's see if I can hold on for an hour. Yeah, I'm going to drain the lizard in an hour. By the way, so remember, you can super check. We've had Shane Mongos. We've had Kirsty. Now, they've gone all quiet. So what's happening now? Is there action going on? What lizard do you have? Well, it used to be an 8-inch lizard, but it seems to have shrunk. I don't know if I got, taught a lesson, but whatever, man. Cursed, the action starts now. Well, I mean, hopefully it's just one-on-one action. There's no cup chair action. There's no Ottawalin watching the action from the cup chair. Can we see a lizard on the street? Are you fucking high, man? Come on, don't be ridiculous. Apart from get me banned, as if I do something like that, man. You got to have self-respect, bro. In fact, F that. I'm going to drain the lizard now. Ask me some more questions. I'll carry on talking. What fights are you looking forward to? And what are your predictions for the fight? Right, come on, lizard. It's your time. Lizard. It's lizard time. The lizard's here. The champ is here. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, did anyone watch the Conor Pattison fight? What happened, man? I think Pattison got stopped. I always thought he's going to be a good fighter. But, he was a good amateur, but he kind of didn't. I don't know, man. He just didn't make it as a pro. He's not the only guy. I remember Alan Temple years ago. I thought he was going to make a super pro. And he ended up being a bit of a journeyman. So there's a lots of reasons for that. You hear about 16 German politicians all mysteriously dying for local elections? No, I didn't, man. Is it reported in the mainstream media? No, I didn't. I didn't know that at all, man. But again, it doesn't surprise me. I don't use cash. Some dodgy people around. What do you mean by that, bro? Why is not using cash going to make dodgy people? What? You'd rather give the government all your details and where you've been? Come on, man. The dodgy people are the government, blood. It sounds like Shane Mongos and Curtis, they'd be getting busy. They'd be quiet. Or she's making a sandwich. Despite protestations that she wanted to make a sandwich. What kind of sandwich do you like? Yeah. Let's look at what fights you've got coming up. Svenoka. Guten Abend, Sven. Starmer is trying to use the bot costings as an excuse for disliking. Yes? Okay, all right. See, I went out on a mission last week, right? And I went to this kind of posh restaurant, and it didn't allow no mobiles, and they give you a newspaper, so you got something to read if you're waiting, right? And this was, let me read out some of this is the Times, right? And this is what I got. These are what the articles was. Look. So this is how they're pushing digital ID and CCTV. Okay, hang on. Facial recognition. I can read backwards, yeah? Facial recognition searches cuts homicides. So now they're pushing facial recognition software. Oh, come on, you pussy hole. Stay there. Huh? Look at that. Digital. Why does it keep moving? Okay, anyway, I'll read it. Digital IDs for everyone in migration crackdown plan. So they're using that, and then we use everything to push digital IDs. This is all in the same papers. Look, Britons drop wallets and venture out cash free. See that? This is all in 3 pages of one paper. What's the best sandwich you've ever eaten? Whew. I mean, you know, if I was only allowed to eat one sandwich for the rest of my life, I think it had to be a bacon and brown sauce sandwich. You know, it's simple, but it's beautiful, man. Shade's beating Kirsty for not making a sandwich. Yeah. Starmer isn't an idiot. No, he's just evil. He's also a batty man. What happened to those Ukrainian guys, those random Ukrainian guys who set fire to whatever it was, his property, you know? Aaron paid fish and chips once at a restaurant. They wanted me to pay more just to sit in the restaurant. And I was like greedy sod, so I ate my fish and chips on the bench. There's something to be said that eating should be slightly more expensive than eat out, because if you eat in, you're using space and you're possibly being served. I don't agree with it necessarily, but, you know, I can understand why a business would say, well, it's 10% more to eat in. Yeah, but, you know, whatever. Loads of people think Farage is going to change anything if he gets. How can people think that, man? He's another controlled opposition. Is he a WEF guy? Or he pretends not to be, but he probably is. Facial recognition can be bypassed anyway. It's an excuse to track us, while Starmet's an idiot for being evil because a devil is going to drill him. Yeah, well, some people, unfortunately, think about today too much and not the future. Svenoka. So many stories about Starmer being a match man and a cuck have been memory hold. Yeah, there'll be, you know, all these stories, they'll disappear. Like, you know, what I mean, imagine that, right? The Ukrainian boys, or rather hooker story, was really big, and then it just disappeared. Memory hold. Memory hold. You know what I'm saying? My boy Fur Q is in the house. What's up, Fur Q? Have you come here to talk about Yakub's creations, brother, and the evil that they are doing? But Yakub's rubbing his hands, bro. Was there anyone good in the UK? Yeah, the normal people, but even most of them are rotten. What you mean, politicians? I think Corbyn was extremely naive and misled and programmed. I think he probably had good intentions, but he came from a really rich family, and he's telling, you know, poor people how to live. I mean, that's the biggest hypocrisy of it all, right? No, I can't think of anybody. No kings, no royalty, no politicians. No, I can't. I can't. Some people say in the US, JFK was the last trustworthy and genuine president. I don't know. This normie I work with told me I love immigrants the other day because I told him Farage is controlled oppositions. Wait, this normie I work with told me I love immigrants the other way because I told him, yeah, I mean, you're probably too stupid and suffering from cognitive dissonance to have opinion of any value. Imagine if Yakub came back and saw what happened to his albinoids. But I mean, I don't know. Would he be happy? Would he be unhappy? Would he be confused? I don't know. Sven, I actually don't want Starmer to resign because if he does, we get a Lammy, which will be exactly the same, except we have to pay. We'll also have to pay reparations. So it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter who's in power or who you vote for. Right? You get the same shit sandwich. It's just served by a different person in different wrapping. Okay? So it doesn't matter, bro. By the way, remember, you can Litecoin, Bitcoin, Super Shekel, and buy me a beer or a coffee. All right. I'm watching boxing on DAZN. What, there's boxing on DAZN now? And I've never heard of the ring announcer before. Let me have a look, man. I didn't think there was any boxing tonight. Let's have a look. Farage will remove the NHS. Well, they've been working towards privatising the NHS for years. Now, they've already, and friends of Boris Johnson, I know he's gone now, but friends of Boris Johnson were really keen to do so. The problem is the NHS has got a lot of support from the people, but they've already privatised areas of the NHS, which is the first step towards making the NHS private. It will take some time. I believe that certain things should be state run, state benefits, as long as the state is trustworthy. By that I mean transport, health, this kind of thing. But the reality is always different from the theory. Fuck you! Fun fact of the day for the the white devils in the chat. Our friend Yakub died at 150 years old. One of his two brains. He had two brains, bro. I thought he just had one massive one. Wow, that's really good. Lammy is so low IQ, it's incredible. Yeah, he's such a moron. He's not as bad as that Diane Abbott, but Yeah, what happened to the tunnel ring announcer who supposedly grew his arm back? Diamante, well, he's still there, bro. He grew his arm back and he said, he was involved in a huge motorcycle crash that never existed. He's a piece of shit. Once the NHS will go private, people dial over the oil press. Don't think the NHS is something perfect. I know loads of people who have been mistreated. People that are being convinced to let their loved ones die rather than receive treatment whilst they treat, foreign nationals. The NHS, I believe in, but it has to be run properly. I know. I have a friend who works for the NHS, and he was very honest. He goes, "Yeah, it's poorly run, right? It's in debt. Yeah. Big up the white devils. Raise your glasses and let's get ready to get wild." I quite like Big Mo because at least he's not from the Thomas Triber, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't know, man. Big Mo also answered the Triple B as he was ringside on Insta, so that's kind of cool. Ali, the racist bum, Cornus Devils, and weirdly, his sons ended up white. I mean, Ali was also a nonce, yeah. When he was 30, he had relations with a 12-year-old girl. He made a 15-year-old pregnant when he was 32. So why is he considered such a good guy? God, Colin Dunn, okay. So I was like Michael Collin. I've seen him fight against Lee Wood when he got ironed out, but he's always had great skills. He just failed at the top level. So he beat Battyman, right? Jake Batterson. What round was that? Oh, I just want to see. So someone said there's something going on with DAZN. I didn't think there was any fights tonight. I like Big Mo. I met him in the way, and he's a nice guy. Yeah, I think he is likable. You know, but a lot of these guys, it's kind of their job to be likable. So you know, to be nice, to be kind. Diamante is a piece of shit. I know people that have come up and asked him to have a selfie, and he's refused unless you pay. Unless you pay. Lucy Letby was set up by the NHS to cover up their incompetence. That's a big story, and it looks like it has weight. I'm not 100% sure, but it certainly looks like it has weight. And probably, I'm not being funny, I haven't looked into it, but the Shipman one's also a bit dodgy. The Shipman one's also a bit dodgy. Yeah, says Boxing Classic, he's down to earth, Big Mo. Yeah, I definitely, out of all the announcers, prefer Big Mo. I like Jim McDonald, who used to do it, except he couldn't remember Paul Smith's name and called him Paul. Rah! Can you imagine that? How can you forget Paul Smith? Why don't we have British announcers? That's the big question. Why? I mean, you know, it's not that difficult, is it? And in the right corner, whatever, in the red corner, fighting out of Manchester, England, and with a record of 13 wins, 11 KOs and 1 draw, and blah blah. It's not difficult, is it, mate? You know. Yeah. He deserved it. Rossi, and a fellow black man, said he wants to be with his own. Frazier kept his bloodline pure. Frazier is secret society, unfortunately. But I always preferred Frazier because I thought he was Frazier battled. He was Muhammad Ali's friend, and he battled the authorities to get Ali to get his license back. And how did Ali pay him back? By stitching him up and getting him, you know, destroyed in the media, calling him Uncle Tom, getting his children made fun of, calling him a gorilla, telling me he was ugly. So yeah, I mean, Muhammad Ali's a piece of shit. This whole, like, it shows you how false the official narrative is. They'll just go, like I said, they make it like Star Wars. This person good, this person bad. Let's not look at the complexities. Exactly. I mean, it's just nonsense. It's just laughable. But the whole race issue is a massive part of the agenda to, you know, encourage mass immigration, to divide and conquer, to get people to hate each other. If the people are disunited, you will never ever revolt. You will never cause a revolution. You feel me? Let's talk boxing, man. I want to talk some boxing. I mean, I like to talk politics and red pill, but this is a boxing channel. Yeah, I was always a big Frazier fan. The shit Ali said caused Frazier's kids to get death threats. I mean, imagine that, man. Poor guy. And the funny thing is, Ali, he only had daughters, you know, which after he mistreated women so badly is kind of interesting. One of them married a white guy, and the kids Biagio and Nico Ali Walsh are like white. Frazier had a number of sons. Marvis Frazier Jr., who was in a bad welterweight. Joe Frazier Jr., who was in a bad welterweight. And obviously Marvis Frazier, who was a very good amateur. He failed at the top level as heavyweight. He got knocked out in a round by Larry Holmes and Matt Tyson, but he was only about 200 pounds. And he retired with his brain intact. He's a preacher man, and he's very chilled and very likable. So, yeah. Well, that's right. Ali had a white challenge, didn't he? Dundee, right? Did you see my message on Sonny Edwards and Charlie Parsons pranking Diamante? Where, bro? Well, on this live, I didn't see it. No. Rewrite it. I think Haney loses to Norman. I actually think, right? No joke. I actually think Norman is a favorite. Let's have a look. When's it happening? Okay, I'll look on Paddy Power. Paddy Power and Bet365 are the best boxing ones. Maybe with Sky, but I mean banned from Bet365 for winning too much. Okay, let's look at this. Haney. Okay, Brian Norman. Wow. Brian Norman in 1.67, Haney 2.1. So Norman is Norman Jr. is actually, we talked about Bryans the other day, and there's way more Bryans that were well-known fighters than people thought. But yeah, so Norman's the favorite, which is interesting. I thought Haney would be the favorite. Bonnet, Scotland. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, bro. That was fake. Diamante Parsons skit was awful. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, you know, you got to be a very good actor to pull something off like that. You know? Well, I want you to become extinct. Yakub, please help. Yeah. We used to have a poster called Yakub. He hasn't been around for a bit. Is that the prank when Diamante comes across a total diva that thinks boxing is about him, not the fighters? Well, if it was a fake prank, then it's very realistic because that's exactly what Diamante is like. But yeah, I can't stand David Gainey or that. Nor can I. Boring fighters. Yeah, yeah. You know, they're the kind of guys that are, what's the word? You know, they're self-important. You know, they think they should be ruling, and yet Devin got a good old hiding from Ryan Garcia. One of my favorite fights. Whatever the reverse, or whatever the PED fake situation, they ban you when you win. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Michael, CUNTS. That's right, man. They're CUN. It's ridiculous, right? Right. You imagine, right? So these guys have got a license. It's for printing money because if you win, they just ban you. So they only want losers. So if you've got a casino or a betting company, you cannot lose. You cannot lose, right? You cannot lose because you just ban winners. And if you have a big win, they will usually, you know, try and worm their way out of it. Even like not big wins, like £200 wins. It was when Diamante was in a taxi and a cab driver was trying to, yeah. If it was fake, it was quite real because that's the kind of guy Diamante is. But Bonnie Scotland, Bugner lacked aggression in the ring. He could have beaten Ali easily. I mean, I don't know about easily, but I did this huge video, an obituary, a 40-minute obituary on Joe Bugner. And because I use only iPhone, there's a glitch in the voice memos, and I lost 20 minutes of speech. And I'll probably try and redo it. It's kind of why I redid this, to big up Joe Bugner. Joe Bugner, in one of his early fights, I think his 10th fight, he killed someone called Uric something. I'll find out his name again. A lot of people don't know this, but he killed a guy. And I think it was his 10th fight. You know, not on purpose, but the guy died after the fight. It went to points, funny enough. Come on. Joe Bugner. Okay. His name was Ulrich Regis. It wasn't his 10th fight. It was like his 20th or something. Ulrich Regis. He won on points, but unfortunately the guy died. And some people say it took his nastiness away and it took his love for boxing away, which is understandable. You know, like, now, Joe Bugner's multi-talented. You know, he's an actor. He did like 23 series and movies, including Street Fighter with Raul Julia, with Kylie Minogue, with Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is Raul Julia's last film. Also, he was a discus schools champion in the UK before he switched to boxing. And then when he went to Australia, age 40, he tried to, he entered the Nationals to try and get into the Commonwealth. He finished only 12th, but at age 40, for a guy that hadn't thrown a discus for, 26 years, that's pretty impressive. Apparently he's really good at art as well. So he's very talented, Joe Bugner. He's the ultimate Chad. Why were some old kids' shows so creepy and dark? Because they're probably from the BBC, man. You know? Because they're run by a bunch of nonsense. That's why. That's why. I mean, bro, that should, there's no rhetorical questions on the Showbiz show, but come on, bro. Because the establishment is filled with wrongings. And the reason nonsense is so important to the establishment is because it makes you blackmailable. You can be emotionally blackmailed. So if you get filmed and stuff doing this creepy stuff, so now you're bought and you have to obey what the elitists tell you to do. You feel me? Never do that, Shelby. Certainly explain why I held back. Going distance twice with Ali. Yeah, I mean, Joe Bugner fought Muhammad Ali over 12 rounds. Ali had just lost to Frazier, I believe. In his next fight, who did he fight? Joe Frazier. And he went distance with both over 12 rounds, right? He got dropped by Joe Frazier in round 10, I believe, but gave a good showing. And then he gave a decent showing against Ali, not for the title. And when he fought Frazier, it wasn't for the title because Frazier had just lost to Foreman. But both of them, Ali and Frazier, had only lost one fight when they fought Joe Bugner, and he gave a great fight. He eventually fought Ali for the world title over 15 rounds in Kuala Lumpur, I believe, in Malaysia. Is that right? He lost on points, and everyone said, "Oh, he didn't give it his all." And it was apparently so hot, like both of them almost had heat stroke and medical problems. You know, I don't know. They attacked Joe Bugner so badly in the British press, it sickens me. You would have thought, right? This guy's a Chad. He's charismatic. He's good looking, no homo. He's got a real heavyweight's body. Yeah. And just because he beat Henry Cooper on points, they attacked him. It's terrible, man. And it shows you how easily people are manipulated. Why would you hate a guy like Joe Bugner? A guy who's charismatic, talented, funny, a good boxer. Steve Five Barrows Bunce said he was probably the second best heavyweight out of Britain after Lennox Lewis. I don't necessarily believe that, but whilst I don't like Bunce because he's a creepy guy, he knows his boxing. Yeah, they hated Bugner for beating Cooper, but it's not his fault. It's the referee's fault. Apparently, our Henry. You know, never forgave Bugner. Well, it's not Bugner's fault, is it? And Harry Carpenter got all upset. Oh, it's disgraceful. And you watched the fight, and actually it's very close. It could have gone either way, right? And then they hated him because of that. Well, he's not the ref. Harry Gibbs was the ref. So why are they hating on Bugner? It's just terrible, man. Pat Brown vs. Lois Jr. What, is that happening? I know Pat Brown's fighting some other guy soon. That would be a great fight. I think with a guy like Pat Brown, who's going to sell a lot of tickets and is very exciting and very sellable, I can't believe his management would take that fight, or his promoter. I love the story where Ali called him the ugliest white boy he ever saw, and Bugner told him, you should see my sister. Bugner's not ugly. Bugner was considered pretty handsome, man. You know, blue-eyed, blonde, a big, like, natural physique. I mean, that's it's quite funny of Ali to say that, but it's even funnier that Bugner is like, yes, so what? You should see my sister. I like Joe, man. Bless him, man. It was terrible the way he's treated, and no wonder he escaped to Australia. And well done for Australia for taking him on. And you know what, Bugner? Let me tell you this for nothing, right? I wrote my notes, right? Like I said, unfortunately, I lost my recordings, but listen to this about Joe Bugner. Listen to his achievements, right? Apart from fighting Ali and Frazier, one after the other, yeah. Apart from being talented at discus, talented at art, being an ABA champion at 17, turning pro at 17, although he lost his first fight by KO, he won the British Heavyweight Championship twice. He won the Commonwealth Championship twice. He won the European Championship 3 times. He won the Aussie Heavyweight Championship, and he also did the WBF, which doesn't really count. But like, come on, man, what? Tell me why that isn't respectable. We don't. There's not the rhetorical question. Of course, it's respectable. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think Shane Mongus is taking care of Kirsty at the moment. It's the same with Larry Holmes beating Ali. Fans hate Holmes for just doing his job. Idiots, yeah. But the other thing about Holmes is he was racialistical himself. You know, he didn't want to lose to no white boy, but he did. He got stopped by Dwayne Bobbick and I think Dave Wells. Check out Dave Wells vs. Larry Holmes. He gets battered by a guy called Dave. I think it's Dave Wells. I don't know, bro. It's a story Bugner told us when he first met Ali. It's funny, even if it isn't true. It's funny. I mean, a lot of stuff is just PR stuff, right? You know the whole thing about Ali. Oh, he came back from the Olympics, and he thought he was so horrified by the way that black people were treated. He threw his gold medal in the river. No, he didn't. He admitted it. He said, "Yeah, it's up in my loft somewhere. I just don't know where." Yeah, it was a lie. It's a PR lie, like the Brendan Eagle lie. Yeah, I seen Nazim Ahmed, and he was being attacked by 4 racists, and I was on top of the bus, and he outclassed them and beat them up. What? So you were on top of the bus, so you couldn't hear what was happening, and you knew Naz was being attacked by racists, and he beat them all up. What is that? That sounds like a Teddy Atlas story, a lie, right? And Nazim never mentioned anything about racism. He was loved in Sheffield. He put Sheffield on the map. He married a white woman. He never complained about it, nor did his dad. What I didn't realize, am I dead yet? Is Holmes was Ali's sparring partner. He really cared for his well-being. I mean, yeah, Holmes took it. Some people say he took it easy, and he kept on saying to the ref, "I haven't actually watched the fight. Can you stop this?" But yeah. Ooh. I love these random. Who with prime Mike Tyson or prime Nikolai Valoev? Tyson on points. Valoev, apart from David Hay almost dropping him, which was, I mean, he had him shuddering, which was crazy. David Hay could really punch though, so let's be clear. But I think Valoev, if Valoev had done PEDs and done proper power training, you know, speed training, he could have been quite good. I've seen him fight live, by the way. He's ginormous. Watching the film now, enjoy your evening. Well, thanks for that. What film are you watching, bro? Yeah, Joe Bugner, the original Chad, R.A.P., the original Chad, Joe Bugner. Can anyone tell me what his nickname was? Because I don't know. Apart from Aussie Joe came later. Injury-free Usyk. Sorry, injury-free Hayes Usyk cruiserweight. Who wins? Usyk, definitely. Too clever. He'll avoid Hayes shots. Hay will probably tire himself out. Possibly get stopped in round 10. You got to remember, Usyk is a special talent. Hay was a great puncher, a super athlete, violent, could punch, but no one else has hurt Usyk. So why is Hay going to hurt Usyk? You know, no. I see Tyson Fury beat up 20 gypsy. Hating race. Racist with his Corey. I was in a plane of exactly. That is about as likely a story as a Nazim Mohammed beating up 4 young racists or Ali throwing his gold medal away. People don't realize most of the stuff you get in the papers is PR releases invented by someone's agent. I work for some big companies, right? And these just the PR people were the biggest liars in the world. They just sit there and go, how can we spin this to get more sales and get some press? And then make something up, bro. Right, what's the time? I'm going to finish at 10. Unless, yeah, I've got the begging bowl out, unless people give some shekels. But yeah. You know, Hay is a good fighter, but he got dropped by Mormek. He got dropped by that, or hurt by that African. He got knocked out by Jim Twite from Coventry in the ABA's semi-finals. So, you know, weirdly though, and I think it's got to do with PEDs. Like I said, they can improve your punch, your ability to take a punch. Weirdly, Hay took some massive shots from Vlad. And both Vlad and Hay were considered to be chinny, right? But neither of them, I think actually Vlad dropped Hay, but Vlad took some great shots on the chin. Obviously, he pissed the fight. And Hay took some good shots too. So it's funny how the whole the chin story, sometimes you can have a really good chin and sometimes you can be chinny. It's quite weird. It's like when, if you're feeling off, if you're not feeling well, if your body isn't good, then obviously you're weaker. If you're right on form, you've trained well, everything's gone well, then you excel. What about the Katie Taylor pretending to be a boy to be in a local boxing club and beat boys up? Oh, that's just the biggest nonsense. That's just a joke. They actually said she used to enter amateur contests and pretend to be a boy and win. She's so whack. I'd knock her out. You've seen. Let me show you again. You've seen the power and the speed. What do you think I would do to Katie Taylor? Yeah. Well, you think Katie Taylor could fight a man and win? It's a joke, man. She can't even stop women at 9 stone. I mean, that's just another fake story. How could you possibly be a woman, pretend to be a boy, and fight men in the amateurs and beat them? A 16-year-old club, half-decent club amateur, in fact, an average one, would knock out Katie Taylor in a round. It's just so laughable. Let's see her card. Let's see her amateur boxing card. Let's see her prove that she's boxed men. You know, you've got to have a card to be an amateur. That's what people don't realize. It's another PR lie. All right? You know, it's right. I could have like 20 people watching at any one time. Like I'm so shadowbound. Back in the day, I would have 60 to 100 people watching when I had only 1,000 subs. Exactly. 14-year-old boys in boxing clubs would knock out Katie. I've seen, young boys that have had 10 fights, and they are so much harder hitting, sharper, violent, and better boxers than Katie Taylor. I met Sonny Edwards a couple of years back. He's a lot smaller than I expected. Him almost a head taller than him. He's only 5'3" and 8 stone. I mean, he can't even knock out 8 stone men. Never mind Katie. We need your previous Clarence Shields. Yeah, Clarence blocked me after I exposed her. And she's like, I've done a video on it. Check it out. Oh, why can't you just be nice? You don't cost nothing, not a thing. And I said, well, you're not nice. All you do is slate people, brag, and you're rubbish, and I'd knock you out. You're a bum. I mean, she's actually the best female boxer probably of all time, but what does that mean? That's like being the best ping pong player, right? In Congo. It doesn't mean anything. It's completely pointless. I don't know. Maybe Congo have got a good ping pong team, but I doubt it. Right. Let's have some more questions and some love. If you want to give some shekel love, that's great. Shane Mongus is obviously taking care of some serious business. Either that or he's got a good sandwich. Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at what fights we've got. Let's talk a bit of boxing before we shut off. September the 6th. Oh, sorry, there are fights tonight. Leo Atang. Is that on DAZN? Let's have a look. Leo Atang is the next Itama, allegedly. He's the next big prospect. Yeah? Okay, now I've got to make sure I don't put no volume up so I don't lose my... Let's have a look. So McCormack is fighting a guy called Para. I've totally forgotten about this. Du Svenoka, undefeated, the undefeated Svenoka. Have a look at Svenoka's Wikipedia page. It's very weird. Not Svenoka, sorry. Someone who fought Svenoka, and it said Svenoka is a renowned cheat on Wikipedia. What? If anybody didn't take PEDs, it's Svenoka. He had the body of like a fat welterweight, and he fought a super middleweight. You remember when he knocked out to Mundine? Mundine said, yeah, you hit like a girl, and he got knocked out. McCormack's fighting Para. Oh, let's see what happened with the Atang fight. That's anyone that... Oh, Tony Bellen's there. Fight card. Atang vs Uwaka. Oh, only lost a round. Well, that's not a surprise. Okay. So I'm rewatching this. Uwaka is holding his chin up, asking to be knocked out. Yeah, well, I don't need to watch a first round knockout. Did you see the shape Crawford is in? Yeah, he looks in great shape. But when he got money, and you know, when you got access to PDs and IV drips, you can do really well. Clarence might be the female world champion, but that means nothing. What's a stew game like? Yeah, I bet she can't make a good stew. Wasn't one of Clarence Shield's opponents like 42 years old with 3 pro fights in Joe? Of course it's a Joe. Caressa got knocked around legs akimbo by some low-level super lightweight funny ass. Yeah, I did a video on it. And when I get upset, no, I mean when I want to laugh, I watch it. And she goes, "There's this Latvian guy." Yeah, and he wasn't awful. He was a prospect. I think he only lost 1 out of 7, but he's no, you know, world champion. And she goes, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got? I'll take you apart." And then he goes back to his corner and he's like, "Why is she trying to knock me out?" Because and he said, "What should I do?" And his trainer said, "Just whack her." And he goes up and goes, "Whap!" And she goes on her fat ass. And then she started making up lies. Oh, the gloves were rigged. And she threatened to stab him. Do you think there'll be some kind of setup at Tommy Robinstein's rally? It's basically a honeypot to find out who supports evil right-wing racists. Only one king of Scotland, Idi Amin. Well, now he's been taken over by Martin Macaulay. Is he not? Martin Macaulay could find an axe girl from Dundee, yeah. Didn't she threaten to kill the guy that knocked down and threatened to stab him? Yeah, it's pathetic, man. Clarence thought she was on the same level as men who've been fighting her at 10%. I know. It's a well-known story. Like, the guy came out and goes, why is she trying to embarrass me? She was like, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Hey, I'm a goat. I'm better than you." And then my hat keeps off all off. And then he whacked her out, which is well deserved. And she threatened to stab him. Seen that Eddie Hearn behind the scenes showman Netflix documentary? Nah. Is it any good? Should I watch it? Okay, down goes Waka, and he's about to quit against Atang. He's one of them guys. He gets up. You know what? The guys that get up at 9.5 and they get stopped. The UK Don number 2. What's up? Yes, my brother. Good to see you, bro. You're a bit late in the day, but it's great to see you. What's going on? Post your coffee link, homeboy. Oh, it's in the description, bro. If you look in the description, it should have "Buy Me a Coffee." I think it's called Base Boxing Basement or Triple B. Thank you, bro. If you want to give me a coffee. Eddie Hearn is a second-rate promoter now. Fish Eyes has taken the throne. He has, and he's got all the heavyweights. But Hearn's done all right. What's happening with Sky, by the way? Because Sky have lost Ben Shalom to BBC, and so they've lost their only promoter. What's happening? They've got a big staff. What are they going to sack them all, make them all redundant? Yeah, I did see that. It was funny, man. Fury to inspect robot quarries when they pile up in factories. Yeah, I mean, will the robots have quarries? I guess. Who does Eddie Hearn still have? I'd have to look. Matchroom fighters. Let's have a look. I don't even know if I've been bothered. The best, according to the website, the best boxers in the world. So they got Bivol, Katie Taylor, big deal. Shakur, Rodriguez, Jayo Pataya. Okay, these guys are all good. But so they got a number of world champions. Shakur Stevenson that are signed to them. Who they got in heavyweights? They still got Gay J. Cameron Vuong is whack. Connor Bum, well, he's whack. Dalton Smith, he's going to get KO'd. Yeah, he doesn't have any heavyweights, does he? Apart from Gay J. Giorgio Visioli, I think he's managed by Sonny Edwards. He's okay. I like him. Jayo Pataya, I rate Jayo Pataya. So Jayo Pataya, I mean, he's got something, but not really any heavyweights. Johnny Fisher, well, he's been shown up. So, yeah. Leo Atang. He's got Leo Atang. That's his big hope. I bet Whitaker's not happy. Shalom can't give them a show. Well, apparently he's going to BBC, but some of it is going to be on iPlayer, not on the big channel. I just donated 1,600 North Korean shillings. Thank you, brother. I don't know what that is in pounds, but thank you. I wonder how Ben Shalom got the Sky gig. I'm sure it's purely merit based. Yeah, I think he was fans of a certain Jonathan Licht was his pal. Where does delusion a lot of women come from? Mostly younger women. It comes from the media. I think it's as strong as men from movies. I told you I was in Wetherspoons and there's this like a bunch of rug munchers watching women's rugby. And one of them went to the man's toilets and sitting there with her legs wide open like a man, scratching her non-existent balls. It was very weird, man. Super question, will Foch beat Till? Should they take the fight? I think he will, but it won't happen. When did Opataya last fight? It was that Claudio Squale, but he's fighting Hussein Shinkara, which he'll destroy. The only fight for him at cruiserweight that is of any value is Zurdo Ramirez, and no way will De La Hoya or Ramirez take that. So he should move up to heavyweight. But there's a really funny TalkSport interview. Lasts about 5 minutes, and they have to say, tell Jai Opataya, Jai, stop swearing, you're live. And he just doesn't. He just carries on swearing his ass off. Yeah, I like Jai. I'm a big Jai fan. Everybody knows that. I like Samoan warriors, man. Bop. All right, guys, we're going to finish up. It's 10. I don't know what I'm going to do. Get my food on. Get my drink on. Maybe. Well, I'm trying to stop. But thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you to, of course, Shane Bongos and his friend Kirst Ardman with the 199. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. When's the next stream? I don't know. When's the next decent fight, bro? When's the next decent fight? God bless. God bless you too, Sven. And God bless you all, right? God bless you all. Christ is King. Peace in the Middle East. See you soon. Yes, brother. Thank you so much for tonight. Great stream. Thank you, guys. I'm going to end the stream with Triple B on the pads.